Hello, welcome back to the presentation. What we're going to do next here is we're going to have a look at the Stratix switch that's here on my desk. First, we're going to connect to the switch with the web browser. And we're going to log in here. Using the default credentials that come with the switch. We're going to get connected here. Connection's moving. And what we're going to see is the switch is completely empty. There's no configuration on this switch. Just like it would be from the factory. Now, we have applied the express setup to give it an IP address here, which eventually will be automated as the switches are set up for us in our future platform. So as we see the switch config coming up here in the web page, you see the default name, switch. Don't see any smart port configuration on the ports. Let's go over here and look at some other items. Just so you can see that the switch has been untouched, just like it would be from the factory, right out of the box. No port configuration, all hardware-based access VLAN. Have a look at the VLAN management. All you see here is the default hardware VLAN, which is built into all switches, so the hardware can accept an address. We'll look in here as in regards to any ether channel configuration. You'll see that is all empty, of course, as well. So back here on the CLI, we'll take a look at the switch from this perspective also. Telnet into the switch. So we're now into the switch. We'll enable the ability here to look at the configuration. So we're going to do a show run to dump the configuration. You'll see here, there's all the crypto for the new crypto firmware. You'll see all the ports are blank. No configuration on any of the ports. You see no VLANs above and beyond the hardware VLAN, VLAN 1. You see no secure shell, just the web page configuration. Nothing else on the switch. So we'll exit the switch. What we're going to do next here is we're going to run the order configuration, or maybe you would consider this a tool that would be used when a customer places an order, whether it be over the phone, to somebody taking calls, or an avenue of this would be embedded into the web pages for purchase. Or this could possibly be used as an internal front-end tool, possibly for AIM and the team using it from that perspective. So I'm going to fire up the tool here. And with the mock-up I have here in place, we have just a few key items, and these will be the essentials for the artificial intelligence to utilize the base level information to predict a configuration. So let's move forward like we're placing an order for a switch. We'll call this packaging, it could be packaging number 100, something of that nature. And we'll move down here to the IP address range. Let's modify this, say from 10 to 17. And let's enable Ether channel in this situation on our switch. And the switch we've selected for purchase, which would be previously done, as it's requested over the phone or chosen on the MyConnect website. So we already have that information on what model they're wanting to purchase. Now we're just taking the base steps here for the AI to essentially predict the configuration. And we'll save the request and we'll watch some of the code run in the terminal here. And when complete, we'll see the switch is fully configured. So here we go. Takes approximately 9 to 10 seconds. And we will see it finalize here. Wait for it. And we see it complete. So now we will reconnect to the switch. Here, reconnect through the web browser. This time there's a username and password configured into the switch. A total of 3 users will be added into our base configurations with the AI. Let the web page log in here. As the web page is logging in, hopefully soon here, we'll also connect with the terminal back here. Once we get connected, we'll step through the features of the switch. See if I missed the password there. As that's connecting, we'll also telnet in. Once again, there's a username and password now. Oops. Spell this correctly. Okay, so we see the new name that we gave it. And we'll do show run to dump the configuration. Here we're starting to see some of the new configuration. Here's users, interface, admin 1, admin 2, and then notice the encrypted passwords. All encryption is now turned on, as well as SSH is turned on and configured. We see spanning tree is enabled and applied to all VLANs. Notice all the VLANs that have been created. Now you're seeing the configuration on all the ports. The smart port configuration for these interfaces. There's your trunking ports on, well, excuse me, that's the HMI configuration on ports 13 through 15. And we see the trunking ports here on the gigabit ports, gigabit 1 and gigabit 2. So we see an extensive configuration now put into the switches. We'll also see, which I think I glanced over pretty quick, is the ether channel configured. So we'll also move over here to the web page. We'll have a look from this point of view. So we see the smart ports configured here, automation device, desktop for automation, switch for automation, so you're trunking from switch to switch. So this is a pretty basic configuration that would work very nicely for a lot of greenfield projects and OEM equipment, maybe a small portion of a plant PAX project. Let's move over here to the VLANs and have a look here. Now we have VLAN 10, 11, 20, 21, 22, 100, 200. All these configured and put in place here for the customer's needs. So right out of the box, the customer has a comprehensive configuration already baked into the switch. Any modifications needed can be applied or adjusted. But as we build out this platform and offer it to customers, we can even customize certain aspects for customers as they request. Here you see the first 9 ports here configured for I/O devices, whether it's maybe a smart device, an I/O rack, a VFD, all devices communicating with SIP. Actually, from 9, actually all the way from 1 to 12 here we see the HMI configuration here. So it's on a separate VLAN to keep the HMI network separate from the I/O, which is a very good practice to reduce just overall traffic and congestion on the network. Let's have a look here at the ether channel configured on the gigabit ports. Come up here, there we see ether channel applied to gig 1 and gig 2. Over here, see that SSH has been turned on and configured. So, as you see here, just a lot of basic network build into this configuration that just about every user needs, but oftentimes doesn't know how to set up, doesn't know how to design and implement. Now we're going to do it for them and provide considerable amount of convenience. Routing is enabled utilizing this gateway, which was the first numeric on the configuration or order configuration screen. So this illustrates what this platform is capable of. So that'll be the end of the presentation, and hopefully we'll have time to talk more soon. Thank you guys.